YTBC, what's the deal? Now, we all know that Shannon Briggs is in the UK right now, causing ruckus. He is over there clowning right now in the UK, but we know Briggs, he invaded the press conference for Haye versus Arnold Jai. All right, Arnold Jai. I really don't mind the fight. To me, it is a step up from the Mark Demore fight. I just believe he presents a tougher challenge, bigger fighter. And when he's at his best versus when Demore's at his best, I think Jarek Jai is the better fighter, the rangier fighter. Demore to me was more just like a weightlifter type of tough guy. I know he tried to work on his, or he was working on his skills, trying to be more of a fluid fighter, but to me he still just looked pretty stiff. Jarek Jai is a big guy, so he may come across like a stiff big fighter as far as his movement, his upper body movement, but when he's about that 230-pound weight, he looks pretty nimble for a big guy and a good hard right hand. I mean, but I'm not trying to sit here and pretend like he's a top 10 rated heavyweight. I don't believe that. But I don't mind this fight for David Haye because everybody else is pretty much booked. I mean, what do you want to see him get in there with Wilder? He can't. He can't get in there with Klitschko. He can't get in there with Fury. He can't get in there with Joshua. Can't get in there with Mark. I mean, slim pickings here. So I would rather see this fight than him face a Dennis Bogtov, no disrespect, or a Travis Walker, or a journeyman at that level who's a little bit past it as far as presenting a real challenge, in my opinion. And I know those guys that disagree with me, but still. Shannon Briggs invaded that, and it was pretty funny, but here on Boxing Scene, I'm gonna leave this article in the description box. Is Briggs to Haye. He says, "I passed my MRI. Don't be scared, champ." And we know when he invaded the press conference, Haye stood up and said, if you pass your MRI or, get a brain test, so on and so forth. And we know that Briggs is able to fight. So that can't be excuse for David Haye, especially if he's not getting these title shots that he wants. Have to make it a little bit exciting for the for some of the fans, because everybody's not a heavyweight fanatic like me. Like, I know who Arnold Jai is. I've done prospect watch videos on him, or a contender watch video on him. I've probably done about 4 videos on him, so you can check that heavyweight prospect playlist for that video I've done on Jarek Jai. But besides a guy like me and probably some people in Switzerland, nobody's really gonna know who he is, and I can't fault people for that, but so if Haye wants to spice it up a little bit, Briggs would be a good fight, Tarver would be a good fight. These guys have came out and called you out. I mean, at least the more of the public will know who these guys are. Tarver, and I'll put that video out. He came out on video calling you out. I'm not talking about his out the ring issues, and I'm just talking about fighting him. I think a lot more people would be more excited for Haye versus Tarver, or Haye versus Briggs versus Haye versus Jarek Jai. Me, as a heavyweight fan, good fight. Jarek Jai's a good fight. I think it's a good fight, but for the majority of the fans, they don't want to see this. And Haye, he wants to please the fans, the majority of them, not just hardcore heavyweight fans like myself, but the other side of the coin, the fans who know who David Haye is, but they're not familiar with a guy like Jarek Jai. So just in this article, it goes on to just some Briggs quotes. He says, "I'm in the best physical condition of my life." He told Sky Sports, "Let's get in the ring. When Haye runs into my right hand, he'll know it's time to stop running. I've had the MRI, give the people what they want. Fight me, let's go, champ. He's scared to fight me because I'm a real contender. He thinks I'm old. I am old enough to know that he ain't ready for the champ. Let's go, champ." Shannon Briggs, the people champ, man. Then he goes on, then Haye responded by saying, "He's an interesting character, and if the British public want to see me beat this guy up, then maybe we can talk about it." It's like, well, a lot of people do want to see you. I'm not a part of the British public, but I am a part of the heavyweight division fan public, you know what I mean? And I would like to see a fight with Briggs and David Haye. I think it should happen. Especially Haye, you're not going to get any title shots Um, you know, maybe that Joshua fight. I know that's a fight that Haye really wants. He wants Anthony Joshua to beat Charles Martin so he can fight Joshua. That's what he wants. Those are in David Haye's plans. We all know this. You know, so this is not a secret that he wants to fight Anthony Joshua for that for the IBF title if Joshua wins. Um, Tyson Fury has went on record stating that he will not fight David Haye no matter the circumstance. He says he'll vacate. You know, so but we know money talks and, you know, BS walks 1,000 miles. So they put the right money in front of Tyson Fury, he might take that fight. But as far as this one, I would like to see this fight. And if anything happens to Jarek Jai, if he gets an injury, or replace him with Shannon Briggs, I think this would be a good fight. And in this way, we can see if Shannon Briggs is going to be shut up or is he going to put up. You know, a lot of people think that he's all talk right now. I see a lot of fans say he wants a big payday, and it's like, well, it is prize fighting. I mean, everybody wants a big payday, but I think this fight would have been a little bit more appealing. Briggs is probably doing the best job of marketing himself without being backed by any company or organization or anything. Just fans like me on YouTube, him himself coming on his, you know, coming out on his Instagram and Twitter and so on and so forth, and being on Boxing Scene and all the big websites, you know. So David Haye versus Shannon Briggs. Hey, when you get past Jarek Jai, fight Briggs, man, especially if you can't get a title shot. You know, if you're not trying to fight like a Luis Ortiz or somebody like that, then let's get a fight popping with Shannon Briggs. It makes sense. You know, somebody has to shut him up, right? If some of you guys want Briggs to shut up, well, somebody has to do it inside the ring. Some of you may argue, well, he has to get in there with somebody, you know. So I think it'd be an interesting fight. YTBC, I'm out.